All right, I'm back. We got some Troegs right here. Independent Brewing, the Mad Elf. And this one is a holiday ale brewed with cherries and honey. There's a look at the label right there. And let's see what we got as far as some stats. Does it give us any? It does. 11% ABV. Serve in a chalice. We're going to be serving it in something like that. It says it uses a spicy Belgian yeast, and the cherries utilized are Bing, Lambert, Van, Royal Anne, and Montmorency. I know Bing. It says it's time. The Mad Elf is here with its nuanced blend of sweet and tart cherries, Pennsylvania wildflower honey, chocolate malt, and a hint of mischief. Thanks to this spicy Belgian yeast, this ruby red holiday ale finishes with subtle notes of cinnamon, clove, and allspice. It's not the holidays until you've had your first Mad Elf. So I'll give you a look at that right there, the stats. That right there, just in case you want to read it for yourself. And I've never had Troegs, but I've definitely heard of them before. And we're going to be using our Lancaster Razorworks bottle opener right here. I had Andre make this for me as a favor, and he delivered in spades. We got this pearl white with a pine cone cast in there. So let's go ahead and crack this one. There we go. And let's get to it. So, utilizing the Lancaster Razorworks bottle opener. And today we're going to be pouring it into a teku glass right here. So let's just give this a go. This was actually a Double Mountain Creek glass. And when I have something that's a little bit bigger ABV, I usually pour like the majority of it out, and then with that bottom little bit, swirl it just in case there's any sediment or residue that's down on the bottom. I want all that flavor to get incorporated and to be enjoyed. So just give that a little swirl, and then we'll add it to the mix. And you can see here definitely a nice ruby red color. There's a look at that label there. And you definitely get that cherry coming right off at you in the nose with that kind of concentrated bottleneck at the top of the glass. Kind of concentrate those aromas right up into your nose. All right. It's pretty damn tasty. I definitely get that spicy Belgian character, especially after you wash it down. You do get this tart cherry character. I wouldn't call it sour. It still has a bit of sweetness to it, but it kind of has a bit of a dry finish. Yeah, good fruit flavor from the cherry, not sour, and then it does have a little bit of sweetness that plays well with the tartness. That is a very nice beer. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Andre from Lancaster Razorworks actually sent me this beer as a Christmas present, along with other things that I ordered. So, thank you to Andre. Okay, let's get into the shave. Today, we're using the duo Barrel Proof from bbs.live in collaboration with Zingari Man, and the artwork there was done by Shaving with Raza, and the overall collab and product is a fucking banger. So there's some directions, 5 ounces, Zingari Man, bbs.live, the duo, nice looking artwork and side label, ingredients along with a batch number. Inside, that is the soap. It looks like it has a very nice smooth pour. You can see there where I scooped it over the course of multiple shaves. And in my Thirsty Badger shave bowl right here in the black, white, and red, we got the lather whipped up. And it is a nice, luxurious lather, looking very creamy and dense. I believe this one is in the Sago base, so that is a tallow formula. And then The brush handle we're using today for the second time from Aloha Shaving from my degenerate brother Ken from Shave 326 and his brush making business Aloha Shaving in the red and black here. And then on top we got a Lancaster V2 knot, which I haven't really seen used very much. So we're giving it our second impressions today. The first impressions were very good. I liked it. I did note some differences from the Lancaster V1 knot. This one kind of leans a little bit more traditional. The first Lancaster V1 knot was gelled very, very minimally. And this one, I would say, doesn't really have gelling apart from perhaps whatever the natural soft tips clumped together. But I don't think this one was processed in any way to increase gelling. I think these are natural tips to the best of my knowledge. And they are still soft for sure. But they have a little bit more of that natural scrub that the Lancaster V1 doesn't have as much, because it does have that minimal gelling over those tips. And this is in no way scritchy or scratchy or uncomfortable in any way, shape, or form. But it does have a little bit more gentle scrub than the Lancaster V1. And then it does have a little bit more backbone. Andre was saying something that this was taken off of the Badger's winter coat, which they typically have a little bit larger follicles or whatever, hair, a little bit larger hair during that time, you know, to stay warm and whatnot, whatever. Getting a little bit shave nerdy here, and I could feel that. But yeah, so this one has a little bit more backbone, but definitely wouldn't say that it's like springy or hard to splay at all. It still splays just fine. You don't have to put some crazy amount of pressure, and that lather's looking good. Sago whipped together fairly easily today. It took a gang of water, and I would say we built ourselves a nice looking lather, and I intend on having a very nice shave today. I also got my beloved Vector back in the mail from So Sharp David. I had it out on loan. He wanted to try it, and he'd mentioned it in multiple videos, and early on in COVID I offered to send it to him, but things were still very unsure at that time, so he turned me down. But then I offered again after some time had passed, and I said, hey man, if you want to borrow the Vector, that offer's still on the table. And he then borrowed it, enjoyed it. He got, you know, some impressions through me swapping some gear with him. And he finally sent it back. So that's what we're using today, the Blackland Vector. I always got to do this profile shot to show just how slim and sleek that head is. It is truly a magnificent razor. The finish could be a little bit better, but it is still a very nice razor that I enjoy a lot. And then I think inside we got a Feather Professional blade. I don't know, because the blade was just sitting around, and that means that it has been used before, at least once. But it'll be good to use the Vector again. It's been a while, multiple weeks at least. And good to have it back. Good to have it back. And I definitely enjoy the Vector a lot. It's probably one of, if not the best, single edge Artist Club style safety razor. Because you can also use Artist Club style blades in chevettes and whatnot. But this is definitely one of the best examples of an Artist Club style. in a safety razor format. Very nice. It does have some blade feel. If you're unfamiliar with the Vector, it does have some blade feel, but it doesn't feel threatening or anything like that. And it washes out pretty nicely. You can see the lather channel on the bottom there. The scent on this one, I've already done reviews on it, but if you haven't seen those, the scent on this one, the prominent notes are sandalwood, bourbon, and oak wood. And to me, it is a sandalwood forward fragrance. And then sandalwood probably takes up half, if not more, of the scent profile. It is definitely sandalwood forward. And it's a very nice sandalwood accord. The scent on this one was mixed and mastered, if you will, by Sean Mayer of Mayer Olfactive, as well as Chateau on Luxe fragrance houses. So, this one, very nice. Sandalwood accord. The next note that comes across probably takes up maybe a quarter of the profile, is the bourbon, and that comes across with just a little bit of booze that lays on top of that sandalwood note. And the sandalwood isn't too sweet, and it really isn't too dry. It's just kind of a nice, like, 50-50. If you have smelled those different types of sandalwood accords, maybe you can picture what I'm talking about. And then lastly, and least prominent, is the oak wood. I think that gets kind of shadowed, or it gets lost in the sauce, because there's so much of that sandalwood that the oak wood just kind of gets overshadowed. But it's a wonderful fragrance, and bbs.live is doing a themed week this week, as well as pretty much every week of the year. But this week's theme is Best of 2021 week, and I do believe this was released in 2021, and it definitely is one of the better fragrances that came out in 2021. I haven't really put no thought into what my best of 2021 list would be, and how many scents would be in that list if there was one. But this would at least be up for consideration for sure. It's a wonderful scent. I love it. Yeah, I know they have a extrait in perfume extrait, and you know, it would be it's definitely consideration for something that I would pick up for myself. I don't know 100% if I'm gonna pick it up or not, but it's definitely something that I would consider, because I do enjoy the fragrance a bunch on this one. I'm not like a huge sandalwood lover boy, but I enjoy sandalwood, and the little bit of boozy character that's demonstrated in this fragrance is also to my liking. I do think it does have a cologne-y vibe to it. It's not just a basic bitch sandalwood. It does have a masculine cologne type vibe to it. And I think it would be a crowd pleaser, you know, especially if you enjoy sandalwood. Very nice flow through. Even though these hairs are supposedly thicker individually, this isn't packed so dense that the flow through struggles. There's absolutely no struggle with flow through. I can squeegee it right out of there. Big old clump of it. I can squeegee it right out of there very easily. So definitely no problems in that department. It's really an enjoyable knot. It's just kind of, it's more of a traditional natural badger rather than some of these newer gelled badger knots of modern times. But the trend does seem to be going back towards traditional badger hair. That's just my observation there. We better get to shaving. I can see I'm messing around a lot with the lather, messing around a lot with the beer, and rambling on as per usual. When all I really need to be doing is getting on with the damn shave. So first day at work after the holidays. Hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas if you celebrate, and a wonderful holiday week if you don't celebrate Christmas. But regardless, I hope everybody had a good weekend. And today was my first day back at work after the holiday weekend. And wouldn't you know it, if life didn't get right back on its bullshit without wasting any time. So this morning, I noticed, my car was kind of struggling to start, but this morning was one of the colder days that we've had this year in Washington State, Yakima City. It was around 20 degrees when I got up at 6 a.m. to go to work. And I went to start my car, and it kind of didn't flip over right away. And it was definitely giving me a little cause for concern. And then on my lunch break, I went and had lunch. And again, it kind of didn't fire up right away. But it fired up. I went and got my lunch, and then I came back to work, put it in park, and had my lunch and got back to work. Well, my last break, I went back out there because I was like, I better go, fire it up just to keep it warm and whatnot. And it didn't fire up, and it didn't start whatsoever. And so I hit up my dad, let him know what time I got off work, and I said, hey, can you come down and bring some battery cleaner, because I popped the hood and I noticed that there was some corrosion on the terminal of the battery. So I said, hey, can you bring some battery cleaner? We'll clean up these terminals and maybe give me a jump. And so that's what we did, and we got the car to fire back up, and I went down to the auto parts place and put a battery on order. But just I guess to finish out the story, gotta get a new battery tomorrow. They didn't have the one that I wanted there, so they said they could get it next day. So I'm gonna get a new battery tomorrow. So hopefully my shit starts in the morning. If not, I'll have to get another jump. But yeah. So hopefully that works out. This is what I was talking about. The holidays are over and life gets right back to its bullshit, because now I'm having to buy a battery, which, I mean, it's probably time, obviously. But I know this time of year really takes a toll on your vehicle's batteries because it gets cold and everything like that. Alright. Lancaster towel. Very nice shave. Love that scent on the soap. Still kind of lingering from the leftovers that is in my shave bowl over here. Just gonna clean off real quick with the Lancaster towel. Get this post shave on and I'll let you guys go. Alright. Okay. Where's it at? There it is. So here is the aftershave splash. This is the recovery splash from Zingari Man. Kind of has a milky color and consistency. Go ahead and show you that description right there. And then, let's see, ingredients right there. Go ahead and open it. Nice industry standard restrictor. We'll go ahead and splash some into the palm. Get it on the cheeks. Get it on the neck. That smells great. And actually, in the splash, I think I pick up the a little bit more of the oak wood. There's a little bit more sweetness. A little bit more sweetness to the splash. And that might be a little bit from the bourbon as well. Alright. That'll do it. That concludes the shave. Thank you everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed that one. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Wish me luck in the morning.